Hey guys, this is Dr. John here, and welcome back for another episode of the Easewell Podcast. Today we have Ashley Parker here. She is the studio manager of Bodyrok Atlanta, which is a new Pilates studio here in town. So, so tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you were a former NFL cheerleader, which is really cool. So, just tell us a little bit more.
And it's so funny because I'm like, that was so long ago, right? That was in my 20s.
Okay.
Clearly, I'm not 20 anymore. But that was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
Sure.
And that is actually kind of what really propelled my career in health and wellness and fitness. But my name is Ashley Parker. I prefer Parker. Yes, I'm a DC native, so I'm from the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, and I've been in Atlanta for 13 years.
Okay.
I've always had 10 toes in health and wellness. I have an older sister, and I was 7 years later, here I come. So they had to keep me very busy.
Sure.
And I was thrown into dance classes, dance, tap, ballet, gymnastics, cheerleading teams, anything that I could do that was very active. And I fell in love with dancing. So I've been dancing since my young adolescent years, and then high school, went into competitive cheerleading. And it's so funny. I tried out in college. I did not make the team in college. But I was like, that's okay. I'm going to one-up this. And then I cheered for the NFL for 3 years for the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, very nice.
And now the Washington Commanders, but back then, the Washington Redskins. And since then, in Atlanta, I've started a dance fitness business. I've gotten into group fitness, so I've been a one-on-one personal trainer. And then just the journey of life. I was working at Microsoft as of recently, and was impacted by tech layoffs. And then I was like, you know what? As was the most of America, right?
Sure.
But that is kind of what gave me space to make the decision to pursue fitness and wellness full time. So here I am. I'm currently the manager for Bodyrok Atlanta. Yeah. So Bodyrok is a market-based franchise.
Yep.
I manage both the Colony Square and Emmett Park location.
Yeah, I saw you guys have two locations.
Yeah, we have two, and stay tuned.
Yeah.
More to come.
I was going to say 67, I think I read online nationwide.
Yeah, so. And there are plans for Atlanta to expand under franchise owner Meredith, who is amazing. So I'm there 7 days a week, and I just recently went through the coaching program as well, so I'll be able to coach there soon.
Okay, so you'll be teaching classes, everything?
Okay. I will be teaching classes there. So.
Very nice, very nice. All right, so I figured we'd start off just kind of talking about what actually is Pilates. I feel like people hear that term a lot, like, oh, I went to a Pilates class, but they don't really understand about it. And then also, who can do Pilates? I feel like all my patients they're all taking Pilates classes left and right, so I feel like it's having its moment in the wellness space right now, sort of. So if you could just expand a little bit more on that.
It is. And it's a great thing because I love that it's trending, but trends kind of, they come up here, then they come down.
Especially nowadays with social media, things like that.
Right? Social demands what's popular. But I really, my hope and expectation is that with so many professional athletes also leaning into Pilates, that it just becomes something that is sustainable and built into people's regimen, whether they are a professional, gold medalist skier or the 18-year-old basketball player trying to go into the NBA, they understand the importance of it. So I'll backtrack. So what is Pilates? Pilates it's a lot of things, but if I had to say one line, one sentence, it's exercise and movements that help to improve your posture alignment, your balance, your flexibility, and kind of works those small muscles that really support the large muscles. Sure. So the large muscles are worked, but Pilates allows us to drill down into those little tiny muscles that support the pec major and the quads, right? These are those large muscles that we work every day. With the different apparatuses. So Pilates also has multiple apparatuses to support it. So that's why you ask, who is it for? It's for everybody.
Yeah, great.
It's for the person who can't get out of bed. There are things you can do with your upper body strength. And if, I don't want to go on a tangent, but if we go further back,
please.
I don't want to nerd out.
No, I'm a nerd. Go for it.
Okay.
Yes.
I love Pilates and not just the history of it. So historically, it was made to support soldiers and injured people within hospital beds. Joseph Pilates is the founder of Pilates. His last name, Pilates, right? So this is his thing, and it was created to support exactly that. So he was able to create all these different apparatuses that would also support a person if they couldn't move their lower body, if all they had was upper body strength. For a person who maybe has limited mobility, but the springs that he was created could help them have the resistance to pull it back in if they don't have that ability to, the core strength to be able to pull something back into the midline of the body.
Sure.
So it's made for everyone. It doesn't, and that's why I love it. It's very inclusive. It's made for my mom who has limited mobility and suffers from sciatica in her legs, and her feet. So we do a lot of like mat things. And I also have like just simple things like helping her to like roll balls under her feet. And that allows her to do some other like mat Pilates moves. Pilates is also can be done on a mat with no equipment.
Oh, so I know you mentioned there's a bunch of different machines, things you can use, but you can also do it just with a mat.
You can just literally lay down a towel, a mat, or just get on the floor
and to work.
You can hit an ab curl.
Yeah.
And you can hit what we call the 100s. And that is a breathing exercise, but it also helps warm up the body, but it activates the core. It helps you with the lumbopelvic stability. So it is done without equipment. It is done with apparatuses, and the apparatuses are there to assist it to be inclusive of everyone, depending on no matter what their capability is. So, yeah.
I love that. Like you said, it can cater to anybody. I think about that with chiropractic. People always ask me like, oh, is it just something that's on the scene now? A lot of younger people are doing it. They're incorporating it. And I tell them, same thing with you with the history of Pilates. Chiropractic has been around for a very long time, and it's something that anybody can do. Anyone, if you're bedridden, if you're a high school athlete, professional athlete. So ties in that wellness space. It can be, I always say this, it's a complement to a healthy lifestyle. So Pilates may not be the answer for everything, but if you do the other things and include that, it's going to help you excel.
Exactly. And that's probably why a lot of your clients are doing Pilates, because, more than I do, as we age, like our posture just gets compromised, and bone density, and it's very high in women. So Pilates allows you to help the body kind of break down the fascia that keeps it tight and helps us to go from here to here. It does those things with all the different things that we kind of incorporate into a flow. As we call our workouts, it's a flow.
Sure. And we'll dive more into that.
Okay. Yeah.
You guys are all going to be experts here in a bit. So, so we kind of talked about why someone should consider Pilates. You kind of touched on that a little bit. But is there maybe an instance where there's somebody who's like, I have this going on. I don't know if Pilates would work for me. So you touched on somebody who could be in bed, bedridden essentially, can still do stuff. But if there's somebody out there like, I don't know, you touched on it, it can be for everyone. But is there maybe a scenario or two where it's like, hey, this actually works very well, where someone may not think it would work out for them?
Yeah. And we're trained as Pilates instructors to take heed to different body types, different body ailments or diagnosis. So I would say, the most common is osteoporosis, which you're going to be the expert on.
Yeah.
And
I know a little bit about that.
Yeah. But a lot of clients are concerned that they can't do it because they have osteoporosis or they have scoliosis. But that just comes into one, understanding the instructor you're working with, the training, but also for us as instructors to understand your body and what your body can do.
Okay.
You are, as a client or the person taking Pilates, you're in charge of your body, and we are in charge of knowing the information of how to educate you on what you can and cannot do.
Love that.
So the great thing, and one of the reasons why it's for everyone, because there are many modifications that someone can do, right? Simple modifications. If you're uncomfortable laying supine on your back, just bring your feet up into bring your knees up, like bend the knees. Like
take some pressure off that lower back.
Yeah, take some pressure off the lower back, and the hip flexors aren't so extended out. Yeah. Little things like that. So osteoporosis is the most common one, and scoliosis, it's just different, like I said, modifications. So I don't want to get too nerdy, but like if you can't imprint your spine, or if someone can't press their spine into a flat mat, if they're doing mat, you can take a towel and roll it underneath. We have wedges, we have barrels to help create the curve of the spine if you're unable to achieve that.
Sure.
For someone who has osteoporosis, it may be, flexion and extension of the spine is a thing. So understanding what they're able to do and not do, that's something that the instructor would know and guide them on. Another thing is pregnancy.
See, you're hitting them all. This is
Oh,
good. This
yeah.
is great. No, this is great.
Is Pilates safe for pregnant women? It is. And there are modifications that we make, and there are certain moves that we will not advise you to do come certain, trimesters and things like that. And even there's a hormone within the body where there's a hormone within women when they are pregnant that creates there's a stretch reflex that is built into us, and it tells our body like, okay, stop stretching, like you're going to stretch beyond your point of mobility,
Sure.
right? And
causing an injury possibly.
yeah, you can cause an injury, pull ligament, all those things. And there's a hormone, I cannot think of the name of it, within pregnant women that comes when they
I know
are
it's
pregnant.
at the tip of my tongue as well.
Yeah,
but,
is it stretching? It's flexing, it's something like that. But it kind of like makes that go away.
Sure.
So that they're not able to know that they're stretching beyond a point. And they're like, oh, I'm just so much flexible, but it's really, you've lost sense of that. So, one of the most common moves are feet and straps, which feels so good. You're laying on your back and your feet are in straps and you're just making circles with your legs. That could be something that's could be hurtful for pregnant women because they've lost that proprioception.
Sure, they don't realize they're going
A little wider, right? And that's just so little things like that. But it is safe. So it's just, we're not going to have you lay on your stomach, but being on all fours probably feels really good.
Yeah.
Laying on your side.
Modifications, like you said.
Yes.
So there's really no excuse. No excuse not to do Pilates. Anybody can do it. Yeah. Okay.
In short, it truly goes back to the question. Anyone can do it with the right modifications.
Yeah, I love your examples too, because I feel like those are things that a lot of people are experiencing.
Those are very common.
Osteoporosis, obviously a lot of pregnant women.
I suffer from kyphosis.
Yeah.
Like kyphosis is when
you need to come see me.
I do.
Yeah, how about that?
Your shoulders kind of roll forward, which could be tightness right here, and the pec minor pulling and stuff like that. So I do a lot of chest openers, chest expansion. I do a lot of rotation from here for the glenohumeral, those kind of things. That's all Pilates.
Very nice.
So I just know the modifications that I need to make for my body type.
Love that. All right. Well, great explanation. That was awesome. So let's talk about what makes Bodyrok different. I was actually looking on your website, and one of the things I read a couple times is we can do in 45 what often other classes, studios do in 60 minutes. So could you kind of explain that?
Yes. So hit my shirt, Bodyrok. I've worked at other reformer-based studios in Atlanta, and when I started working in December, I was newer to Bodyrok, to the workout, and that is not a false tagline.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And I see the clients coming out of class. I'm like, how was class? We're always so upbeat energy, and they're just like, that was a workout. And that's what I love about it. So what stands out about Bodyrok is that we have a lot more movement and flow through our design flow workouts. And every day is different. We have maybe like 6 or 7 class types. So we have one that's called Buns and Guns, right?
Love it. Love it.
Cute names.
Yeah.
Buns and Guns. So we're focusing on the lower body, the glutes, the quads, that kind of thing. Guns like bicep, triceps. And then we have 6 packs and backs. So we're focusing on the core, the transverse, rectus abdominis, the lumbar, all of those things. Like you get that as a workout, but it's not just, staying here and holding this for 3 minutes. We're doing this, but we're adding more movement to it, more of a flow. Okay. So that the clients, when they come and they take our classes, and they've taken other classes, they're just like, I just moved a lot. So their body's able to work up a nice sweat. Their body's able to kind of get a little burst of cardio here and there, because we're not just kind of static on the machine working one body part. We're always trying to kind of combine it too, so that it's more than just this one move. Like maybe we add like a amplification or a variation, so that it's not just here.
Just a single,
but maybe we're going to squat with it and then come up with it, different things like that. So it's a very fun workout. It's a whole light show, so it just adds to the experience of it. Our instructors are very hands-on. We always check for any if anyone has any injuries, previous injuries, or if someone is pregnant, we can check their profile so we know ahead of time. So we'll give them like, okay, we're doing this. Here's your modification. those kind of things. So we try to make it almost like it's a group fitness, but we want to make it almost like a one-on-one experience, right?
Yeah,
like
I love that.
You feel like Parker knows who I am, what my body can do, what I can't do, and she'll also probably challenge me in the class. So
and that matters to people who come regularly. They want to feel like, hey, I know this instructor. They know what things I need modified.
Exactly.
They're going to watch for certain things with me. Like they like to build that relationship. So that's
so
really
our
cool.
secret sauce is like the last 30 seconds of each move, we throw in like a variation, and they got to hold it, whether it's an isometric hold or, we're adding that pulse in there. We add a little sugar and spice at the very end just to like
keep them on their
beef
toes.
it up. Yes.
Yeah. And I love the variation. Like you said, you have certain days with certain focuses doing the same thing. It's like going to the gym every day and doing bicep curls every day. People are going to get bored with that and not see results in other areas that they obviously needed at.
Yeah.
So.
And they won't ever have the same flow. We have a corporate team that writes our flows for our studios to have them diverse and different, and like all body types can do them. We have the modifications that we can do. We have the variations and the amplifications that we can add. The amplifications are what makes it more challenging. So, all of our workouts are beginner friendly. We always coach that beginner friendly version. And then if I see, clients are like, they got this, like we're not a muscle failure, I'll go ahead and add, if you want to take this up to level 2, maybe drop the handles. So now you're really focusing on lower body and core to drag that carriage in.
Gotcha.
Or, all right, the last 30 seconds, let's hold this. Add your pulse for the last 15 seconds.
And you'll just go up next to them and then we're going, just go.
Yeah.
So pretty unique then. It definitely sounds like it's different than just your traditional Pilates, like you said, from the lights to the personalized experience to the variations to combining multiple moves. I feel like that's where you add your kind of, you stand out a little bit.
Yeah, so. And I think people appreciate that.
For sure.
If they have a classical background in Pilates, if they have more of a contemporary background in Pilates, they're still able to feel that connection that we bring with it. But we do have our, specially designed reformer that is just designed for Bodyrok.
Don't go too much into that because I'm going to touch on that in a little bit.
Yes.
But no, we will touch on the reformer though in a little bit. Okay. So before we get there though, we've dove in pretty well to the physical benefits. You can touch on those as well. But what about mental benefits? Could you touch on a couple of those? Because everyone's always so focused on physical, and just puts mental to the wayside. And in my opinion, they should be running neck and neck most of the time.
For sure. And I that's my hope, is that that's what starts to trend more, are those workouts and those types of fitness workouts that make you bring in the mind and the body connection. I think for me, like that's overall wellness.
Sure.
Like I
couldn't agree more.
I can have a 6-pack, but like if I don't have an opportunity to like try to be present and to really hone in on what I'm doing, the workout, whether it's the workout or work or whatever, where our brains are always going 10,000 miles per hour.
Yep.
Not now though. I'm like really present with you.
This feels really good. Okay, good.
Yes.
Love it.
This feels so great because the day has been crazy.
Love it.
But that is what Pilates does. So you can't think about your grocery list and do Pilates because one, you have to breathe. One of the main principles of Pilates is breath. It's breathing, concentration. So you have to bring breath into the body to do a lot of the moves where you may inhale, inhale to rise up, exhale on the output, right? Like we're constantly guiding our clients when to inhale, when to exhale. And sometimes I'm just like, just breathe.
Yeah.
I don't even want you to get on the right,
just make sure you're
breathe,
in and out.
Because that's also what breaks down the fascia, right? To breathe muscle and keeps your muscles nice and elongated. So it requires you to be very present of where you are. So you have to breathe, or you're making it much, much difficult to do some of the moves, especially when we add those extra springs on the reformer. And then you also have to, so I said breathing, and then there was one more I wanted to point out. We'll hope they'll edit that part.
Okay. You're fine. You can think about it and just say edit.
There was breath and so when you're in class, when you're in class at Bodyrok, you have to listen to the instructions. We're guiding you through the workout. You'll never just come in and we're just like, do the workout. Like we're coaching you through, we're telling you where to make modifications. We're telling you
listening,
how to bring amplification. So you have to concentrate on what's happening, on
not
where
the
your body.
World.
Yeah. What straps are you grabbing? Are you grabbing the black straps or the red straps? Do you want to, if you're not feeling tension, move down a little bit and yank it a little more. So you're really focused onto what you're doing. So that's the body and mind connection. It's kind of like Tai Chi, like you can't just do the moves. You have to really
be present,
be present in the moves. And that's the great thing about Pilates. Like and it's the concentration. Where are you even putting the breath, right? Like if when I'm in an ab curl, I can't just lift from my head and just breathe through there. I have to breathe through
belly
my
breath.
diaphragm, pull my belly button down, start to rise up, lift my neck, start to curl from the sternum, and then lift from the head. Like that was just a lot. Just
and if you're thinking that in your head doing that, your mind should be fully there. And
and the more you bring all those together, the more contraction you're going to get, and the better the results, because you're bringing it all. You're bringing the mind, the body, the concentration, the breath, and all those things.
Sure. I'm sure you see some clients walk in, maybe they're having a day and they're probably a 180 by the time they leave.
Yes.
Stress relief, just feeling better, dopamine's flowing. So that turn is probably nice to see in people as well.
It feels so good to work there, because like we're the happy place. We're like,
that's
by the
what
time they come to the studio, it's like a Bodyrok party, and we're all good vibes, and everyone just feels good there. But you can tell, and I'm like, do you feel different after class? Like, I just feel so good.
That's awesome.
And it may just be the 1 hour people actually have time to do that.
Correct. Yeah.
Be present for their wellness. Yeah.
Yes. Well, great. Great explanation. Love that.
Thank you.
All right. So now we can talk about the reformers a little bit. So what are they, and how do they enhance a Pilates class? So you can go with it. Tell us what they are, and kind of. Yeah.
So I would say our reformers at Bodyrok are made specifically for the Bodyrok client, for the flows that we design. And they are, you want me to describe like what it is, or just kind of like how you use it? Want.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's some people out there like don't even know what they're picturing in their head. Or
and everyone is a little intimidated when they see the reformer.
I looked at it and I was like, what is that thing?
I know. And it's just like, is that a torture contraption? And are you going to lock me up? I mean,
stretch you out on the table.
Yeah, right. Yes, that's kind of what it looks like. But honestly, it looks like that because it is there to support you. Okay. That is your machine for that 45 minutes. That's the whole class is spent on that machine.
So you're on it.
You're on top of it. You're laying on the side of it. You're laying on your stomach, on your back. You may use the handlebars and have one leg pushing the carriage out. Like that is your tool. Okay. So I'm a Pilates client, my tools are the reformer. We start there.
All right.
But it's there to support you. So we have straps to add, we have straps on both sides of the carriage. So there's a carriage, and the carriage usually moves up and down. And in Bodyrok, we have, again, it's our specially designed for Bodyrok clients for our company. We have two sides of the carriage. You have a front platform and a back platform.
Okay.
That can be for additional support for your knees if you need it. We could be standing on the platform. You come into a roll down, pushing the carriage out, pushing the carriage back in, arms going up. So that's kind of how we use it. But it's, again, you see it's there for support.
Yeah.
Right? You can put your hands on the carriage on the platform. And we have things like straps that are Velcro to the reformer. You can slide your hands underneath if you need more support.
So they're not sliding or anything
yeah,
like that.
Just little things like that. Also, some of the things we use to make things a little bit more challenging during the workout. But it's kind of like your one-stop shop for Pilates. And I mean, the more you explore it, you'll find like little things hidden under there. Like we have like a little bungee, you can put on your lower, on the bottom of your feet around the arch, and you can hit some hamstring curls, some fire hydrants.
That's really cool.
All kind of things for lower body. So it is specially designed, but it's nothing that should be intimidating. But once you, as new clients, we always give our new clients a demo.
I was going to say, based on what you just said, I would need a demo for sure. I would look at that thing like.
So new clients, they are directed to arrive to the studio between 10 minutes early. And our instructors take them through a whole demo. You get introduced to the machine. You understand what parts of it are unstable, which moves, right? The carriage, which are the stable parts of it. We show you the difference between the straps. We have short straps and long straps. If the straps are too much, again, we keep hand weights underneath of the reformer, and that's a modification if the straps weight is too heavy.
Makes sense.
So we have all those kind of things built in. But yeah,
that's really cool.
It's not complicated, but it's well decorated. I'll say that.
I love it. Nice. Well, great explanation. Thank you for that. All right, let's see here. All right. Sorry, I paused there. Edit that. How long would someone expect to see results with Pilates? So you can use a few examples if you want, but
Okay.
I
I
know
love
some.
this question.
I know if somebody's a little older, or somebody's maybe overweight. It may change the circumstances, but just in general, yeah, like because a lot of people want things now. Instant gratification is the world we live in. No one ever wants to put in the work. So they just are like, hey, how can I do this in a third of the time? And it doesn't always work that way with health and wellness. So again, it's a lifestyle. You touched on that earlier.
Thank you.
Yes.
I am going to be the one to report Pilates is a practice. You get better the more you practice anything. So that is how I equate that. Your results will increase the more you practice Pilates.
Sure. Kind of like yoga. Yoga is the same way.
Exactly like yoga.
Yep.
You just start to feel different, right? Mentally, but then you also feel that mobility and that agility starts to increase. So with Pilates, I always, like I said, you're going to see a difference in an increase in your posture, in your posture alignment, in your flexibility, and then in your balance. And then from that, the thing that comes together that brings all that together is like you're also toning, you're also strengthening those muscles that are going to help you age well. You're strengthening the muscles to support those large muscles. So you'll start to see more toning, more definition, but that is not the immediate result.
Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if that's not, strength training, and there are people who have, I would say strength training is definitely going to hit those large muscles. You're going to see, bulking up and everything. But I promise you, we have the most strongest men come in there, men and women, people in general. And they're just like, that's like nothing I've ever done before.
Like you said, the small muscles that often people do not hit.
Yes. And that's why it's such a good longevity and wellness workout for anyone at any age.
Sure.
I think it's great when it's like layered into like a fitness routine, whether you're a walker, a runner, a dancer, professional athletes. Like this is, I can't tell you the amount of tweets that people send me like, did you see this such and such from the Cincinnati Bengals and stuff like that. And it's just so cool to see that they are understanding the importance of having the flexibility, the balance training, the agility, the mobility. Like they don't want to be 10 men's on the field.
Of course.
And then also like post-career, can you imagine how their bodies feel? So this is something that can go with them longevity. So I think it is a practice. And I get that question a lot at the studio. And I always recommend, let's start it 2 times a week. And then if you can increase it, that would be great. If you can increase it, add something else in there to help supplement your workout, right? Whether it's cardio or if you or strength training, but Pilates will definitely start to tighten you up. And especially the more you practice, you learn how to breathe better, because there's diaphragmatic breathing that comes into Pilates, which is very different from belly breathing. And just the diaphragmatic breathing, you're contracting your abs. So if your
you're
goal
gonna have to show me how to do that. No, maybe not now, but after,
I'm doing it now.
I'm like,
it's a thing. Like just from breathing, that the way that we instruct you to in Pilates, like you're activating your core. So you're starting to like chip away at that core line and how you want it to look. So again, it's just a practice, and the more you come, the better you are. We do offer one-on-ones. We do a lot of one-on-ones actually with existing clients to kind of like fine tune things.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great thing to do. That's when like they're really investing in their body. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the benefits seem amazing.
we've
Flexibility,
had,
relief in back pain, better posture. Toning. Those are all things that people are interested in doing.
And you will shred weight because you're burning calories, you're sweating, you're releasing toxins. We've had people who've lost, she said 120 pounds doing Pilates.
Oh my gosh. That actually leads me into my next thing. I was going to have you tell us like 1 or 2 maybe success stories at Bodyrok. But obviously you can give as many details as you'd like, but just somebody's journey, maybe how Pilates helped change their life.
We've had so many clients. And a lot of our clients are very diverse, which I love. We have students, we have judges, we have very professional women and men that come into our studio, and they're all there for different reasons. So I would say one that stands out to me was she ate right, but she was just not as they say, a workout girly. She's like, I just don't want to sweat. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to lift weights. Like,
Sure. Just want the weight to fall off magically.
Yeah, just she had goals and she just wanted the exactly. But she found whatever that was missing at Bodyrok, and she challenged herself to come every day for 31 days.
Wow, that's impressive.
Every single day,
Yeah.
and she did that. And then she just kept happening. And now this was in December. Now we're in May, and she has a routine now. She feels great. She brings people along with her journey, which is so beautiful.
That is.
She's reaching her goals of like losing weight and starting to see tone and definition. But I think that for me, the biggest success was that she surprised herself, that she thought for something that she didn't want to do. And then she made her own self decision,
which
to
you
come
have to do
every single
opinion.
day.
Yeah.
I think that was like a success and triumph of just like
That's a huge
overcoming
story.
things that you think you can't do.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So that's kind of one of my favorites. And she's just like one of our OG members, and like we give her all the respect and love. But it's just great to see her body physically change and it be what she wants it to look, but also like that mental thing that she overcame. Like, I'm not a workout girly. Now you're here every day, girl, and you're bringing friends and family and stuff. So
That's
it's
amazing.
like this has become so much a part of her life.
That's great. I love it. That's a
Yeah.
great story. And this kind of leads into a little bit I want to talk about next. So some people like to incorporate a variety of things. So they'll do yoga maybe once a week, hit the gym, go for a run.
Same. I do the same.
And
yeah.
Pilates fits in very nice with that as well. You don't
my
just have to
God.
be all in on Pilates. You can do a little bit of everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can. And the good thing is Pilates can, it can be restorative. It can be more of a stretch. It can be more active. It can focus only on core. Pilates is
It sounds like it takes
challenging.
care of everything.
Yes, it is. And I myself do the same thing. I incorporate it into, I go to the gym. I do yoga in the morning. Like, it's just kind of like a very grounding practice for me. I'll go walking. I'm doing Tai Chi on Saturday. Like,
That's awesome.
I try to stay active, but Pilates is my, what's the word? It's my staple.
There you go.
Everything else will kind of be built in around that, because I can make it be exactly what I need it to be. If I know I've skipped maybe 2 days, I can go a little harder on the moves and do more advanced moves that activate my core deeper, or that if I want to focus on toning upper body or my arms, I can do more hugger trees or sword or all different kind of things. So you can really fine tune it. And we offer that at Bodyrok. So we have on Thursdays and Sundays, we offer a class called Stretch and Flow. So it's more of our restorative class. We offer it twice a week at our Colony Square location. And as of now, one time a week on Sundays at Emmett Park. And we do that so that they can see that also Pilates is a restorative practice. It doesn't have to be, I'm sweating and my body is shaking because the muscles are working.
Yep.
But it is a restorative practice. So we show them how to use the reformer in that way of being able to stretch the body. And like our clients, I can't even ever take it because the clients book it out. It's always kind of our sold out class.
It's almost like a recovery in a way.
Yeah, it is. We want to, and we did that because we wanted to make a recovery class for our clients who come every day or come multiple times a week. So Pilates offers you that range to be whatever it is. And then, using the different apparatuses can really challenge your workout, can really increase the different options that you have of what you need it to be.
Yeah.
So it can be on the spectrum, it can be extremely challenging. There are things that I myself cannot do yet.
Yeah.
Candlestick, you can look it up later.
Yeah.
I'm not
guaranteed
there.
I can't do that.
You're literally upside down on the Cadillac. So on the
Cadillac?
Yeah, so we call it the Cadillac. So have you seen the reformer it's like a reformer, then it has 2 towers, and then it also has one on top?
I have not. I only saw the spot.
So you can go upside down. That is something I'm working on. That is extreme core.
I'll let you learn it.
And I'm
then
strong.
You can teach me.
I am strong. But like my friend who is a mother of 3 has been practicing Pilates for 5+ years. She can do it like nothing. And it just shows you the different levels of strength in your body.
Sure.
I can probably lift the weight heavier than her overhead. I can clean it really, nice.
But that, not
but
so
yeah.
much. All right.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a great explanation.
Okay.
That's awesome. All right. So, ready to kind of wrap up here. We've covered a great bit.
Yeah, okay.
You've done a wonderful job explaining Pilates, why people
Thank
need to be
you.
doing it. But yeah, I just wanted finish up with you telling people how they can check you guys out on social media, and maybe something you have for first-time clients, somebody who watches this, listens to it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm intrigued. How do I contact you? And what am I gonna have to pay? What's it like for the first visit?"
We're super active on Instagram. Our social media account is at Bodyrok Atlanta. We're constantly posting on stories, any new offers that we're offering or fun things we're doing in the studio. You're welcome to learn about it and join there. As a first-time client, we offer first class $20, which is great. It's like a Starbucks drink, right? At this point, first class is $20. You can sign up online. You can text us, email us. We're very, very responsive. And then when you do text or talk or email, you're talking to a real person. So we try to make sure we're very personal with our clients. We have 2 studio locations, Colony Square and Emmett Park. You are invited to use your first single class pass, the $20 at either studio locations. I just invite people to try it out. It's really fun. We offer classes 7 days a week.
That's awesome.
As early as 5:30 a.m. if that is your jam. That's not my jam.
Same.
But they are sold out, and we'll go until 7:30 p.m. on the weekdays and weekends. We are on and popping. Our classes sell out really fast on the weekends. So it's a fun environment. I invite you to come check us out. Movement is medicine. It is the one thing that you can control on your health. You can move your body, and we encourage you to come and move with us at Bodyrok Atlanta. It's so much fun, and I'll be there, and all the friends.
Awesome.
So it's just a really good time.
Yeah, that was great, and thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
Of course, it's my honor. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, I enjoyed it a lot, and now I need to get in there as well. So
yes,
that's the plan. All right, well, thanks again.
Good.
All right,
thank you.
Yep.